why should I study science for?
Um, that's a really good question. Smart people should know the answer, I hope.
So why should you be studying science? Or why should anybody study science? Well, I've come up with five main reasons I think on why we should be studying some science. One is that we can understand how our own universe works and how, more importantly, you work. I think that's fundamental into understanding your place in the cosmos, to where you come from, why you're here, as well as being just an informed citizen. Know a little bit about how your body works, a little bit about how the whole planet works. I think is important to just being a knowledgeable citizen. The second thing that science can help you with, and why it's important to study it, is that it provides you with soft skills, or as I like to call them, transferable skills. So these are skill sets that can help you in your own life as well as in your job and can be transferred to any job you go to, which is why they're called transferable skills. And the two main ones that science can help you with, including math can help us with as well, is critical thinking and problem solving. Both very important skills that in this day and age are critical, that many employers are looking for. Uh, the, the third thing that science can help you with is it can protect you against pseudoscience and also inaccurate pop culture beliefs. So this is a big thing going on right now. There's a lot of misinformation about medicine and different types of medicine and, you know, food. You know, we all should be eating gluten-free stuff. Is this something we should be doing? Should we be eating gluten-free stuff? I don't know. But if you don't study science, you will never know. You'll be left in the dark and you'll just follow what anybody tells you blindly. And knowing science and having those soft skills of critically thinking and problem solving allow you to think about a claim and say, does what they're saying make sense to what I know about how the universe operates? Even on a superficial level, just understanding the basic laws of the universe can allow you to understand whether homeopathy should work or not. So that's another thing that science can help you with. The fourth thing is that having a strong scientific enterprise, so having people who are literate in science and also have those problem solving and critical thinking skills lead to innovation, which lead to more jobs, better products, and eventually a stronger, more resilient economy. Science leads to that kind of innovation. And when you have innovation, you get jobs, and people have jobs tomorrow. So I think that's right. I think it makes sense. Being a scientist who does research, I can definitely see how even my own research and others around me, their research, how all that can be borne out into getting some kind of spin-off technology, somehow putting an economic value on it that can help our economy and provide jobs in the future. The fifth thing that science can offer and why we should study it is that it just helps you make informed decisions. As I kind of touched on with the pseudoscience stuff, should you take homeopathy medication? Should you be on cholesterol medication? Does it matter if you take generic or not? I mean, these are important things that help you in your own life to to decide whether or not you should do something. And having that science and that critical thinking that science can teach you can help you make these informed decisions to make you a better consumer as well as a better informed citizen. So these are the main five things that I think were pretty important and why we all should study some science. Now, just as an aside, I'm going to tell you about my journey and why I went into science. So I've always been fascinated by how the universe works. Since I was a little boy, I found it amazing that no matter how you planted a seed, on its side, up, down, no matter where you how you planted it, the roots always went into the dirt, and the shoots always came up above the ground. I always found that fascinating, and couldn't explain it, of course, when you're 4 or 5. You didn't know why that was happening, but that kind of got me started. I also had some very good influences in my life. One being my grandfather, who often would take me on walks and we'd go walking to school and home from school, and we'd stop and look at the colors of the trees as they change in the fall. We'd look at nature around us and look at how the birds and the different seasons and the moon and how all these things are there, yet most people ignore them. And I began to notice patterns when I was younger. You know, certain things would happen when the rain is going to come. I'd notice when fall was arriving because birds were gathering, especially around August. You get to see more and more birds flocking together. These were little patterns I began to notice as a little boy. And I started, well, how do they know these things? How do the birds know to go together? How do the trees know to change color? These are questions that I didn't know. And I found, going through grade school, that the only subject that answered these questions were science. And I realized most of the questions I was asking, and I always had questions on, were always seemed to be answered by this subject called science. So that kind of got me on the path and got me interested into learning more about this subject. Another thing that I like about science that appealed to me was that it gave me a power to understand my place and understand how the world works. Once you understand how things work, it's amazing. It's like the light bulb clicks on in your head and you go, now that's why the moon does that. Now I get why this happens. And the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn more about it. It's like an unquenchable thirst for knowledge that science has given. It allowed me to pursue, thankfully. Uh, and I think the most appealing that it is now, why I continued in science, especially in high school and to university and to where I am now, is it's not easy. A lot of it's not intuitive. It's a lot of thinking, it's a lot of hard work, but it's that reward at the end, that discovery, that makes it all worth it. You know, when I do research, it takes so long and so much time. And sometimes I often wonder if it's worth it. But then when you get that results and all the results come in and you're looking at the data and you find that hidden gem and your heart races, you just feel so excited. That is the reason why I do science. It's catching that thrill, as well as providing my community and the world at large more knowledge and to help people. Because my discoveries could potentially lead to helping people. Not just my discoveries, everybody's discoveries. That's the whole point of science, is to help people to discover how the world works and just continually learning. That's another thing I like about science. You're never stop learning. I mean, every day new stuff is happening and new discoveries are being made. New papers are being published hourly. And so much things are changing that it requires you to continuously learn. And I love that about science. So that's kind of a little bit about why I went to science and some of the reasons why I think you should study science. Now, just a little disclaimer, I don't think everybody should be scientists, right? I think we all should be literate in all subjects, including art and humanities and literature, and science and math should be a part of it. I think the least we demand of ourselves is that we become scientifically literate. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.